Welcome to the MommyZen podcast with Marianne Clyde.
Welcome back to the MommyZen podcast. Our affirmation today is, I am able to detach emotionally from my child's problems so that I can be objective and helpful if needed. I received another question from a parent that I thought I'd share because I hear it so often, so I thought I'd answer it on today's podcast. She wrote, I'd like to hear your take on how to handle a teenager. In her case, it was a 17-year-old male who lives on his PC, playing video games, Facebooking to the detriment of school and household chores. His personality changes when he's on his PC. If I can get him away from it for a few days, hiking or backpacking, he wonders why he spends so much time on it. But as soon as we get back home again, boom, he's gone again. This is a dilemma not just for teens, but for many adults as well. Human connection is one of our greatest survival needs, and we get that connection so often these days through the internet, which is really only a partial connection. We get addicted to the busyness of it, the constant update. God forbid we should actually miss something. We get demanding of one another that we answer each other's texts now, or we feel like we're cheated and somehow we're not actually really loved. We need to learn and teach our kids the importance of power of one-on-one, face-to-face interaction, of time alone in nature, as well as not skimping on our responsibilities like doing our schoolwork and paying the bills. We're all wading through this bog of social media, and it's clearly the way of the future, and we've not fully figured it out yet. Of course, it would be easier to do if it didn't change so quickly. So here are a few suggestions. The number one rule, and I've mentioned this before, but people are more important than technology. The computer, the phone, the TV, all hold second place to the person standing right in front of you. This is important for mom and dad to observe as well as the kids. No matter what you say, they will do what you do instead. Second, technology should be controlled by you and not the other way around. It's easier said than done, but a few ways to do this are, number one, you can have set times that you use the computer or check emails on your phones. Maybe 3 times a day. Maybe morning, lunchtime, and after dinner. You can ask your teen what works best for him. He must feel like he has ownership in this. You're just there for an accountability factor. Tell him what your set times are too. And then before you use the computer, you have to be dressed and ready to leave for the day. Your homework and chores must be done. You can even leave a note or a job chart, essentially, right up next to the computer. Have you finished your schoolwork? Have you cleaned the bathrooms? Have you set the table? Again, discuss this with your teen and get his input. At 17, he'll be on his own soon, so he needs to have options, ideas, and be able to create his own boundaries as far as it's possible. Third, it seems more necessary these days for each kid to have an iPad or a computer. I get that. But there could be a central computer in the kitchen for social media and maybe just searching the web. This increases accountability and minimizes secrecy that kids are so easily drawn into. The risk is very real, and I know kids feel that they're not vulnerable to threats online, but they are. At least have them use their laptops in public places in the house, like the kitchen or the family room. I love the way this mom who wrote this note, she takes her kids hiking and backpacking. Times out with family are vital. They're vital for young kids as well as teens, and this should be an important part of every family's agenda, and it should be planned out on the calendar. With schedules the way they are, our family time should be a priority, a scheduled one if necessary. This shows kids that they are a priority. One-on-one times with parents and kids are so beneficial. It improves communication, nurturing the relationship, and building self-esteem. But time outside should not be the only time you communicate. Keep family dinner times or breakfast times open for communication and feeling good, not for addressing high-stress topics like grades and so forth. A kid should feel like his home is his sanctuary. So should you. And this is done by applying the principles of my book, Peaceful Parenting, 10 Essential Principles. These are important for you to teach your kids as well. Help your child know his true identity as outlined in my book. To spend time with his creator, to learn to be alone and nurture awareness. To take time to breathe and detach. This is an important skill to develop, as it's important not just in controlling your response to Facebook posts, but to keep from getting sucked into drama. Who of us has not had that feeling of being sucked into something someone posts on your news feed? Kids have a steady diet of this and need to learn to detach and walk away when necessary. Most importantly, it's more important to comment on and celebrate the times when they do detach, when they do set boundaries, rather than our normal tendency to focus on the problem and the things they do that we think are wrong. I understand that focusing on the positive doesn't seem as immediately effective as just yelling at them and watching them close the computer. But just like a healthy diet doesn't show immediate results, you know if you just give up sugar and eat more fruits and vegetables, it has to make you healthier in the long run. So try to think of focusing on what they're doing right as a healthy diet for your relationship. It may take a while until they build up their own sense of control, but once they do, it will be deeply ingrained and permanent, not just something they're doing to shut you up at the moment and then ultimately go do exactly what they want. Now remember our affirmation for today. I am able to detach emotionally from my child's problems so that I can be objective and helpful if needed. This is MommyZen signing off for today. I'll see you next time. And remember, if you haven't yet gotten a copy of my book, here's how.
So today when I picked her up from daycare, she told me that she missed me. The problem is that I think she really means it. And then that fear hits me again. I have no choice but to work. So I'm taking simple steps to find time when I have time for just her and me. No distractions. It's on the calendar. It's us at our best. It makes me think I'm doing something right. Thanks for listening to the MommyZen podcast. For nuggets of encouragement and strength throughout your day, follow Marianne on Twitter at mommy_zen and Facebook at facebook.com/mommyjustbreathe. Also, you can join our mailing list, leave comments, or ask questions by visiting mommy-zen.com.